You don't need to quit your job in the UK or abroad before you start building wealth in Africa. In this video, I'm going to show how I'm doing it while working in the UK, the step-by-step method I am using in building wealth back in Africa, even though I still live in the UK. Now, many people abroad have one fundamental issue. How do I build wealth back home even while living here? I was on discussion with someone that based in the United States of America yesterday, and he told me that he had tried to relocate back to Nigeria to build his business. And then he had to run back to the United States of America because the project failed. I have also had series of interviews and consultation sections with many people that are based abroad that came back to Nigeria at a particular time in order to build their business in Nigeria, and then they failed. Many of these people did not fail because they were not smart people. Many of these people did not fail because their business model was wrong. Many of them failed because they failed to apply the steps that I'm going to highlight in this video. Hi, my name is Simeon Odi. They call me Showboy. I live and reside in the United Kingdom. I'm a struggling farmer that have to leave Nigeria after my business failed. So if you are coming to this channel for the first time, consider subscribing. Without further ado, let us go straight to the video of the day. If you live abroad, you should know that there are two things that will be in your mind. The first thing is, I want to blend in with the system that I am living with abroad. So I want to invest my money abroad. I don't want to go back to Africa. I love my lifestyle here. So if you love your lifestyle abroad, it is good that you start investing in the country you are in. One way to invest in the country you are in is through real estate. But the problem with real estate is that real estate commands a whole lot of money. But if you have the first 10% or 20% deposit that you are going to pay as down payment, then you are good. And if your credit checks up, then you are good. Another way you can invest if you prefer to remain abroad is to invest in the stock market. If you do not know much about the UK stock exchange or the United States or any country you are living in, you can do mutual fund. Mutual funds simply mean pulling funds together from different people and giving it to someone that is an expert in the money market, and the person will collectively invest the money for you. This is not giving it to someone that is not licensed. It is usually done through brokers. So research about it, research about the law in your country, and do it. Another way you can invest in the country that you live is through business. If you have the legal document to start a business, consider starting a business. Go and rent any expensive office because already you have bills you are paying, like your house bill and other bills that you are paying in this country. So you can start with your house, and with time you can move out from your house to offices. Okay. Now, if your plan, just like me, is to invest back in Africa, then this video is for you. What are the things I am doing? The first thing I'm doing is that I looked at the school of thought that I want to subscribe to. In this video, I'm going to critically analyze two schools of thought. We have so many other schools of thought, but I'm going to talk about two schools of thought in this video. And you can see how you can use any of these schools of thought to grow wealth back home, or you can combine these two schools of thought to grow wealth back home. The first school of thought I'm going to talk about is from my mentor, Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey is an American millionaire. In his show, Dave Ramsey have interviewed and helped millions of Americans in order to grow wealth. Now, during the interview that Dave Ramsey did, Dave Ramsey saw that most people that became millionaires in America are not people that even did business. They are not people that did business. They are people that were under the employment quadrant. They were under the employment quadrant. I'm going to talk about 4 quadrants. Those 4 quadrants, you can use it to build wealth back home. Listen, this video, in as much as sometimes it sounds funny, it is a practical video that you can use today and you start seeing the result immediately. The 4 quadrants I'm going to be talking about is number 1 quadrant is employee. In that place, you work for money. You work for money. You work for a boss. You work for someone else. And in exchange for your time and knowledge and expertise, they pay you. The second quadrant is the S quadrant, the self-employed. In this place, you own a business that works for you. So you own a business that you work for. This time, you are not working for someone. You are working for a business that you own. Now, the third one is the B quadrant, which is the business quadrant. The business quadrant is that you own businesses that do not need you in order to make money. That means you own a system that works for you. And then the last quadrant is the I quadrant, which is the investor quadrant. In this place, you do not own a business, but you are using your money. Your money in this place is working for you. So you are investing your money even in other people's businesses, and the money is bringing you return. Now, Dave Ramsey saw that most people that became millionaires in America used the E, that is the employee, and the I together. They use the employee and the I together. That is what Dave Ramsey saw. And even when you are checking the millionaire next door, those millionaires next door, if you read the book Millionaire Next Door, you will see that the average millionaire in America is not even a business owner. Is under employment, under the same 9 to 5 that many of us are crying about in the UK. This is the Ramsey principle. Now, how do they do it? I'm going to talk about me, but I want to bring up the principle that helped me in order to understand how I can invest back home. So, Dave Ramsey saw that in order for you to become rich, in order for you to become a millionaire, when I'm saying millionaire, I mean millionaire in dollar. I'm not even talking about millionaire in naira. The normal millionaire you know in dollar. Because if you are a millionaire in dollar or in pounds, you are a millionaire anywhere in the world. If you are a millionaire in this currency, pounds or dollar, then you are a millionaire in any currency in the world. The Ramsey saw that for you to achieve that, one thing you need to do is first of all to get out of debt. That is the first thing that the average millionaires in America did. They got out of debt. And this debt we are talking about is student loan, car loan, credit card, and other consumer loans, apart from mortgage, apart from your home. These other debts, loans that keep you paying money every month, you need to get out of it. That is first thing that they did. Now, the second thing they did is that they invested 25%. They are investing up to 25% of their money in the capital market. So these ones are in the E quadrant. They are normal people like doctors. They are normal people like teachers. They are normal people like warehouse workers. They are normal people like those that work in care home. They are normal people that you are normal, regular bus driver, farmer, normal people that do normal work abroad. Because abroad, there is dignity in labor. No matter the job you are doing, you do it with dignity and labor and honor. You do it with honor. You do it with all your might and everything abroad. So the Ramsey saw that these ones, they got out of debt and they started investing. Now, most of these people do not have time to start analyzing the market. They do not have time to start analyzing the market. So what they did is that they invested in mutual fund. They invested in mutual fund. And in America, the best mutual funds are the ones that are between 10% to 15% return on investment per year. So these ones compounded 25% of their earning and they put it in mutual fund. So every month, if they are earning $1,000, these ones will remove $250 and invest. The first starting point is to remove just $100, which is 10%. And after you have gotten out of debt, you are now going to make it 25%. But the first time is 10%. What you need is to be investing 10%. For every 1,000 pounds or dollar that you earn, you remove just 100 pounds to invest. So these ones invested it. They keep investing that money in the mutual fund. These ones did not even do real estate. Because Dave Ramsey, according to his principle, Dave Ramsey do not even believe in business. Even though he's a businessman, he does not believe that you need to be a businessman for you to be rich. And it is working for the majority of average Americans. They invested their money in real estate, in the mutual fund. They did not even invest their money in real estate because in real estate, you have to deal with tenants that do not want to pay rent. It might be affecting your job where you have to be dealing with tenants that will be giving you headache. Let me shock you. Many people in America is wasting money. Do you know that if you invest 500 pounds, if you invest 500 pounds or $500 in a good mutual fund that will give you a return of investment of 10 to 15% return on investment on compound interest, that means even the interest you are getting, you are reinvesting, and you are adding a monthly 500 pounds to it. So your first investment is 500, but every month you are adding another 500. If you do it for 20 years, you are going to be within the rank of $3 million. 500 pounds. Now, this 500 pounds is money that many people are paying for their car loan. It's money many people are wasting on credit card loan, on consumer debt. So the Ramsey is saying that even if you are an employee, you can use that employee with the I quadrant, where the money you are earning as an employee works for you in the I quadrant. Now, another school of thought that we are going to talk about is the Robert Kiyosaki school of thought. Now, Robert Kiyosaki believed in debt. He believed that for you to grow wealth, that you must use other people's money. Now, this is another school of thought that so many people have looked into. Now, Robert Kiyosaki believed that you do not need to be in the E quadrant. Robert Kiyosaki is saying that you should not be in the E quadrant, that you should find a way to come to the S quadrant first. That if you are in the S quadrant, you are self-employed. So Robert Kiyosaki is telling you that instead of working for someone, being a cleaner in an organization, that you should try your best to own your own business, and to become, when you own your own business, you will now own a cleaning agency. He's telling you that instead of you working in a care home, that you should try and own a care home. You should be self-employed. Robert Kiyosaki is also preaching that you should try other things that can help you, like plumbing, like carpentry, like electrician, that is artisans, things that you can do and be self-employed. Because when you are now self-employed, you can now be able to build businesses that you don't need to be there. That means you are moving from the S quadrant to the B quadrant. And it is only when you get to the B quadrant that you will be more relaxed to use other people's money to do the B quadrant, and then your own money, you'll be using it for I quadrant, which is investing. I don't know whether you understand this. Let me try to explain it again. Robert Kiyosaki is saying that even if you are an employee now, that you should try your best to leave the employee, because for that of Dave Ramsey, it takes you time. It builds you towards retirement. It takes you time for your money to grow to become $1 million or to grow to become $2 million. It takes you time, okay? But the principle of Robert Kiyosaki is telling you how you can grow the wealth now, even when you are still young, so that you can also have the time to enjoy the money when your blood is still very strong. So he's saying that even if you are an employee right now, that you should try your best to leave the employee to self-employ. And now when you are self-employed, you should now start opening on businesses. So let us use an example. An example of that we can use is someone that is a carpenter. A carpenter that is working in a firm as a carpenter is an employee. Robert Kiyosaki is telling you to try and leave the employee and then become self-employed. You can give yourself a 6-month time, you leave it and you become self-employed, owning your own carpentry. This thing, you can start from home. Then you start printing flyers, people start giving you job. Then from there, you can now own an agency, a maintenance agency, where other people are now using their carpentry skill to work for you. You no longer work for money. You are now using other people's time. Okay? You are now also using other people's money, because in that case, Robert Kiyosaki is telling you to take as much loan as you can in order to build businesses, and then use your own money that you are getting to invest in real estate. To invest in real estate. Robert Kiyosaki is a real estate man. He believes that your own interest, your own money should be in real estate. To build a business, you should go to the bank and borrow money and do the business. If the business fail, the business fail. But your own money should be in real estate. I hope you have understand this school of thought. Now, how am I combining this in order to build wealth back home? When I came to the United Kingdom, I understood that I needed to build back my farm back home and the businesses I was doing back home. I own a farm, I own a pharmaceutical logistic business, and I'm into hospitality. This is the 3 businesses I'm doing back home. Now, there's no way I can start these whole 3 businesses running at the same time. So one of them is already running even when I left, which is Pork and Things, the hospitality business. I decided that I needed to build back the farm, because one thing about farming is that farming brings generational wealth. Farming is the most noble job you can do. Farming is a business you can do that you cannot quantify the return on investment you can get. Immediately farming click for you, brother, sister, uncles. Immediately farming click for you, you cannot even do another job. So I started with the farm. I started making sure that my earnings here, that I remove 10% of my earnings. That my 10% of my earnings, I use it to start building my farm back home. I started with 1,000 catfish. As of today, we have 5,000 catfish, and we have already booked down another 4,000 catfish, making it 9,000 catfish in the next few days. I started with 100 chicken. Now, as I'm talking to you, we have over 500 chicken. We have 650, which 150 had been cleared. We have this in badges, and we are trying to build the broiler station up to 2,000 beds. Now, formerly, we had more than 400 pigs. Presently, we have just 3 pigs, and we are trying to build these 3 pigs to 2,000 pigs by August next year. That is a 1-year target. So that is for the farming. And now what about maintenance? What about structure? Because many of the people that invest back home, their major concern is that they do not have good manager to manage it. So one thing I did is to embrace my lawyer. My lawyer is even in the WhatsApp group that I am using. And I make sure that everybody is well documented. Everybody is not just well documented. There is also a guarantor form. Apart from that, there is also a commitment form from the guarantor showing that we don't need to start going to court or anywhere. Immediately this thing is done, you are going to pay out this money. You understand? So I make sure that that is done. Another thing I decided to do using the Ramsey principle is to start to invest in the stock exchange. I bought some shares which are doing well, but I am also investing in mutual fund because I am not in Nigeria. I do not really know all the companies that are doing well, even though their document is fully shown publicly because they are a publicly owned company. But I invested in mutual fund back home. In America, mutual fund and the UK, mutual fund gives you about 10 to 15%. But do you know that presently in Nigeria, mutual fund gives you 22 to 25%? This is not an investment advice. I am not an investment expert. This is what I am doing personally. So every month, I remove part of my earning and I invest it back home. Some go to the farm, while some go to the mutual fund account and the stock account. I did not stop there. Using a stockbroker here, I invested also in mutual fund in the UK. In the UK, I also invested in the mutual fund because I cannot live, since I live abroad, I cannot just tie my destiny only to Africa. I am also looking at how I can safeguard myself here. So I also invested in mutual fund here in the UK. Now, the most important one I want to tell you about is storage business. I leverage on agricultural storage in order to allow bulk of my savings work for me. Because it is good to save money, but the truth is this: what is your savings? What will your savings amount to? The other video I talk about, if you have 10,000 pounds save, if you just lose your job for 3 months and you have a family, that 10,000 pounds is gone. People in Nigeria will be looking at it, is it not 20 million naira? But you are not spending the money in naira. You are actually spending the money in pounds. And since you are spending the money in pounds, how much is your house rent? How much is your family commitment? How much is the taxes and bills that you need to pay? 10,000 pounds in 3 months is done and finished. But if you leverage that money on something like agricultural storage, there are people that do agricultural trading, but just like Dave Ramsey is saying, I am an employee. I work here 9 to 5 just as every other person. So I do not have that luxury of trying to be trading agricultural products, knowing companies that I need to call in order to buy ogbono for me, knowing companies I need to call in order to buy groundnut or buy maize or buy soya beans. I don't have that time. If I start doing it, I'm going to lose my own job here or lose focus. So I focus on agricultural storage. This period, in the next week, we are going to start storing egusi. Those that are already in the community have seen how they can use agricultural storage as a leverage for them to build wealth. It doesn't matter whether you are in Nigeria. It doesn't matter whether you are abroad. So this step is something I have started. I started this year because I am 35 years old now and I wish to retire by the time I'm 45. So I gave myself 10 years. So these are the steps that I am using in order to make sure that I build wealth back home. If you want to be part of my community, you can send me a message on +234 7053216310. It costs you 20,000 naira to be part of that community. And in that community, you will now see how you can start leveraging on agricultural storage in order to build your wealth back home. Apart from that, you also receive a book. That book is worth more than 500,000 naira. You are going to receive the book. The book is an A to Z knowledge on how you can start agricultural storage yourself. Yourself. You will see where you can get the product. You will see everything in that book. If it interests you, send me a message on the number on this screen right now, and I'm going to add you to that place. What method are you using to build wealth back home? Remember, I did not talk about real estate yet. I believe in real estate just like Robert Kiyosaki because when I had to leave Nigeria, what saved me was the land that I have, real estate. That was what saved me. I sold them and I used the money in order to relocate abroad. So real estate is still in the pipeline. But for now, these are the 3 steps that I am mastering in building wealth back home. Tell me what you are also doing back home or doing in the country where you are. What did they call me in the country where you reside? Because here in England, they call me shore boy. And this is me telling you, I love you all, and I can't wait to see your comment on what you are doing. I'll see you again in the next one. Cheers.